Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video has some meal prep in it and how we stay on budget. One of the biggest ways we stay on budget is that I meal plan and I meal prep. So I hope you're doing well. This video is going to go out Sunday morning, and then I've got another video on budgeting coming out Sunday evening. So I hope you're all enjoying your Sunday. Take care, be well, and I'll see you again. Okay, we went over to Walmart on Wednesday night before the big holiday weekend to get our groceries. And this is basically our main fill-in haul. We can buy, 2 or 3 weeks of milk or yogurt or butter or eggs at a time. But we like to have fresh produce every week. I have ratatouille that I make now. I also have a chicken stir fry that I make. And I still make homemade soup. Either just the vegetable soup, or I am trying Aldi chicken now, so chicken vegetable soup. We eat soup throughout the summer, not as much as we eat soups and stews in the fall and winter, but we still do, and I still have chicken or beef broth every single day. I drink 6 ounces of broth every day, so I also drink coffee, hot coffee all summer long, and we eat ice cream all winter long, so it isn't really weather dependent for us. So this is really what we need every single week. So I did try to buy some leeks. My husband likes fried potatoes with leeks, and I'm going to try a leek soup. So I think there's something else that goes with it, but I wanted to get these leeks. They were $1.69 for this bunch at Walmart today. Let's see, these 2 pounds. These were $4.18 at Walmart today. They looked great, and they had lots of them. The salad mix, $4.48 as always. The sweet baby broccoli was $1.68 a pound, and this was, I think it was just under a pound. The Roma tomatoes were 98 cents a pound today. The green cabbage was I think it was 106. And this was and the red cabbage was $1.16. Either way, these aren't heavy cabbages. This one was $3, and this one was $3.26 or $3.23. The peaches were bought at a local grocery store. I have been eating peaches from Aldi and Walmart, but they're not looking the greatest. These said they were locally grown. I'm not sure what that means. I don't think that these bunch were locally grown, but you just never know. But they look good, and they were the right price, 99 cents a pound. So I went ahead and bought those. These have been $1.52. They were $1.12 today. I thought these were cute, and this is just what we need on the weekend. They do cost a little more for the convenience of not having bread that goes stale. We don't like putting the bread in the refrigerator, and I don't like freezing the bread necessarily, even though we have been doing that for a long time. And funny as it can be, when we went by to get the bread today on a Wednesday, there was the entire bread aisle was completely empty, but every single maker had one of these half loaves available. So we do buy butternut in the big loaf, so we went ahead and did that. And then we have bought Lewis before, so we got some sourdough, a little loaf in that. This was $1.48, and I think the full loaf was $1.98, and this sourdough was $1.46 for a half loaf. And then there was some local corn, and that was 5 ears of corn for $2. I'm not sure how that's going to be. We usually get it from the same farm stand year after year, but we did want some for this weekend. It's like the first, I guess for us, it's one of the first ones where my husband gets 5 days off work, so it's a long weekend, and we just try to have, more than just one grilled meal. So I'm going to grill some corn and hamburgers and stuff like that, and then we'll at least be able to do that, and then take a walk, and then have a day of rest. So it's nice when he gets 3 or 4 day weekends. So we do get that at Memorial Day, but Memorial Day weather is just always terrible. So this weekend in Wisconsin, we're supposed to have 80-degree temps and only one day with a chance of rain. So we hope to get out in nature and walk a little bit, and then get some things around the apartment done. So that is our little grocery haul bought on Wednesday night with the prices. and I will add in our meals. Starting with Thursday, we have some pizza from a local pizza place. That's our meal for Thursday, and then I'll try to get meals for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then put my video up on Sunday. Okay, here is Sunday prep work. So I do this every single Sunday. So for dinner tonight, we are having just boiled potatoes. I'll probably make them into mashed potatoes. My husband likes sour cream. And then new carrots. And then I use some of the other carrots, or the rest of this that we picked up in our homemade soup. I've got some croissants that I bought, proofing. Some cauliflower that I bought. It does have a little bit of the, the brown in that. You just scrape that off. You can use I use a paring knife. It comes off. And I will cook half of that and steam the other half and freeze it. The green beans. I don't have a steamer, so what I did was I put about 1/8 of a cup of water in the bottom of a saucepan and then put it on high. And once that came to a boil, I put these in and put the lid on the saucepan and steamed them for 3 minutes. So they're still nice and crisp. I dried them off. That's why there's a paper towel in there. Sorry for so much plastic. I can't think of another option. I bought other alternatives than that, and they just haven't worked as good. I get a lot of freezer burn when I try them. So if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. So I'm trying to get these as dry as possible, sitting on a paper towel, and once they're dry, I will then mark it, steamed green beans and the date, and put them in the freezer, and we'll have them at another time. And then I've got 2 portions of these in the refrigerator. My husband's going to have one on the dinner tonight, Sunday night, and one for Monday night's dinner. Then, of course, prepping his coleslaw, and then making broth for soup. So this is a chicken that I roasted up, and I took some of the meat off of it, left some meat on it, because I'm going to then take that meat from the bone once the broth is done cooking. This will be on a slow simmer for 8 hours, and then I will remove the meat and use part of the broth for homemade soup. It'll be quite concentrated. I've got to add water, more water at this point. You can see the water line. So I've got to add more water at this point, but what's in the broth for me right now is just the broth and the chicken, salt and pepper. And what I'll add is turmeric, because turmeric, just Google it, is great for inflammation, and it works great for me. So I will add water. I will continue with the simmer for another 6 hours, and then continue to add water. And once that's done, then I will take out what I need to drink for broth this week and leave the rest in, and then I will add onion and garlic and celery, things my husband likes in his soup. And then I will cook that for probably an hour or 2 till everything's softened. And then I will put that in containers and freeze it, and we can bring that back out in the future and make homemade soup from it. And the homemade soup will have the chicken, noodles, peas, carrots, obviously the broth, and any other vegetable he wants thrown in. And there'll be at least 2 fairly good-sized portions froze. So that'll be great. And the fry pan, which I just love, if I haven't said it before, it's Pioneer Woman. It was under $20 at Walmart. I do really like it. I like that it's non-stick, but I just like it's not quite ceramic. It's an alternative to ceramic. Anyways, I got it on clearance, Pioneer Woman clearance at Walmart a couple of weeks ago, or probably a month ago, and I love it. It's great to cook in, and that's waiting for me to chop up some zucchini that we will have in our stir fry this week, and also zucchini for a future ratatouille. So got that taken care of, and I am going to be making some homemade cinnamon rolls for Sunday breakfast. And if there's any more prep, I'll show you what it looks like in this video, but that's how I get it done. Sunday is going to be, like I said, some roast chicken, potatoes, carrots, cauliflower. And then Tuesday night, we're having a stir fry, and that's just basically all the vegetables that we have in the house, plus I'm going to add a can of corn and rice. And Tuesday, we're going to have chicken wraps. Wednesday, I'm going to make a homemade lasagna that will have leftovers for Thursday. Friday, we're probably going to do some homemade soup and garlic toast Saturday I'm going to do some barbecuing, so I'm going to be barbecuing some chicken and some turkey burgers, and then next Sunday it will be back to a roast chicken. So we have, I was able to purchase the Amish chickens that we've purchased previously, or if I can't find those, I am enjoying the chickens from Aldi. So that is Sunday early morning prep for Sunday dinner and the rest of the week. And of course, if you're interested in how some videos of me putting together these meals or putting together my husband's lunch, please let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to share that. But this is kind of how we stay on budget. This is how we avoid eating out, whether we go somewhere during the day. I always make sandwiches. I always have egg salad in the refrigerator when I know we're going to go somewhere. So we have egg salad sandwiches or a fried egg sandwich. Most of the time, I would say we have spinach and lettuce and tomatoes and avocados, so we can always make a quick salad. I've done prep work with meatballs in the freezer, so I can pull them out and make spaghetti and meatballs. I've got some just cooked up ground beef. I can bring that out and make chili or tacos. So I try to do the prep work. It does take a little time. It's about 6 hours during Sunday, but then it makes staying at home and eating homemade meals and saving money and staying on budget, it's worth it. So thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed tonight's video. If you did, please hit the like button. The next video I'm making after this is going to be showing you our budget and then some talk about early retirement and just kind of saying goodbye. You know, it's sad what I'm planning on doing with YouTube and just some updates for some other things. So if that sounds good to you, tune in for tonight's video. This video is going to be released here during the day on Sunday, and tonight's video is going to be what I just mentioned. And then moving forward, I am going to do a couple of budget videos. I've had a lot of comments asking me if I can do that, or a lot of questions and comments asking me if I can make more budget videos, and I'm happy to do that. So take care, be well, and I'll see you next time. And eggs for our salad. And then, I don't know if I mentioned it before, a leek for my husband's portions of ratatouille, and more eggplant to blanch. And then the tomatoes and the butternut squash are cooking up.